What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Gibbon here today with probably taking a bit of a risk. Maybe I'm going to try my hand at doing a bit of a factual game review. Now, what you're watching in the background, you probably are aware. You might know, you might not know. But this is a game called Black Squad. It's a free-to-play game that is available on Steam. Primarily, it's an FPS shooter. It uses Unreal Engine 3. The beta was actually released in Korea back in 2014, and it's now currently in alpha build. The alpha build was also, I think, released in Japan around about September 2016 last year. And the reason for the Asian connection, if you will, is because it was made by Newit Games in collaboration with NHN. Newit Games are obviously a predominantly Asian sort of game creator publishing house type group of people. They're actually, funnily enough, they're responsible for EA Sports and FIFA Online, or being involved with the creation of that. So the game actually itself, to give you a bit of background, the easiest way to describe it is there's two main groups. They're called Viper Circle, and they're also known as the Global Anti-Terrorist Task Force, which has formerly been known as Peacemaker. Basically, it's these two groups that are pitted against each other, and that's kind of the way that it plays. Now, it's a team-based FPS game, and the really kind of cool thing about this is that there are sort of a host of game modes that come with the actual game itself. I think like your TDM, your demolition type mode, bomb site type mode, that type of thing. But interestingly, you can actually have 5v5, 8v8, 10v10, or 16 versus 16. In the 16 versus 16 mode, that's actually called battle mode, where you have the option where you can call in airstrikes and artillery support. I mean, the developers say it's to create a more realistic experience, so whether or not that's the case, I'm not sure, because I've only realistically played TDM, so it's kind of difficult to say. I think there's about 20 maps that are actually available. Now, the big thing to note here, with it being sort of, it's come from an Asian developer, is there is going to be a huge comparison with COD Online. And Merc Music plays COD Online quite a lot, and it's quite a funny game to watch him play because his ping is ridiculous because he's connecting to people in China. There is a comparison with that game in terms of the way it plays. Obviously, it's free to play. However, if you want to get better guns, or you want to get better items and bits and pieces and stuff like that, there is obviously a costing system or a ranking up system that's involved with that. So things like, for example, you can have a grenade, and you can have like a smoke grenade or a stun grenade, but you can rent those items for like a certain number of days. So I assume on that basis that it's kind of quite similar to COD Online, the way that it works. In terms of the way that the game actually looks, it actually looks really nice. It runs really, really well. I think it was running at like a solid 200 FPS while I was playing it on Steam. Didn't seem to be too much of an issue lag-wise. You can select between like North American servers, EU servers, and obviously the Asian servers and stuff like that. So it did run quite well. The time to kill is extremely quick. I have to say, it really did remind me of CSGO. I don't know if you're familiar with sometimes a thing that happens in CSGO when you get killed, particularly when you get killed by somebody with a sniper when they shoot you, and it's like when the camera pans to them in your death, it's like they're swapping the weapon. The same sort of thing happens in this game as well. It's kind of weird. You kind of have to decipher whether or not you want to be good through hip fire or you want to be good through aiming down sights. It can be a bit tough to get used to. It's very, very fast paced. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how well this game actually does. I think when Bipolar Bear and I were playing it at that one given moment in time, there were about 13,000 people online playing it. It seems to have a bit of a cult following, I think is probably the right way of saying it. But the game's played really well. The gun sounds are ridiculous. It's very cartoonish sounding is probably the best way of describing it. It didn't sound at all realistic. But then again, what game does, really, when you think about it? But overall, it was enjoyable to play. I sat and I played it. I found myself playing 4, 5, 6 games in a row, and just had a really good time playing it. Like I said, it's free to play, so you can pick it up and play it, but you will get shit on by like the ARX. You will get shit on by people with snipers. I think one of the snipers is pretty much identical to the AWP. There's the TAR SMG you get right at the very, very start as well. But obviously there are better weapons out. There's a Scar H in there, which just absolutely decimates. So it's interesting. It's almost like either you pay for it, or the further that you get into the game, you get the better weapons. But I found it quite good fun to play. Sometimes you found that you die a bit quick. That might just be a server thing. But like I said, it ran really, really smooth. And for a free-to-play game where you just want to kick it for an hour and just have a bit of a fart around with something and just de-stress yourself or get really angry at how quick you're getting killed, it's potentially worth it, I think. So, yeah, check it out on Steam. It's free to play. If you're interested in FPS games like I am, then it might be something you want to have a look at. Just something a little bit different. That's my opinion on it. I think it's alright. It'll be interesting to see once it actually gets proper full release and the way that the game's actually supported. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. That's going to do it for this one. Like I said, taking a bit of risk and trying to give you a bit of a factual game review. Don't know how well this has gone. But thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. We will see you on the next one, guys. Take it easy. Peace.